Have a motion by Commissioner Gillis, a second by Commissioner Lovett. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, the next, several sets of minutes, from the public hearing dated December 12th, the workshop agenda December 14th, and the regular business meeting December 9th. Trust all you guys have had a chance to read the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the public hearing minutes of December 12th, 2023, the workshop agenda minutes of December 14th, 2023, and the regular business meeting minutes of December 19th, 2023 as presented.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Thrash, and a second by Commissioner Gillis. Any discussion about the minutes? Hearing none. We'll call for the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. The next item on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, apologies for the interruption, but before we go on to item number 6, I'll need a brief moment. May I address the community?
Well, the community don't know yet what item number 6 is.
Well, that's okay. It's not concerning item number 6. May I have the floor for a moment, sir? Thank you. This evening, I was served legal papers by our Honorable Sheriff Brad White, naming me as co-defendant in Lamar County Superior Court case 24B-016-F, filed today by the legal firm representing the Lamar County Regional Solid Waste Authority, chaired by Commissioner Nancy Thrash. Also personally named as co-defendants in this case are Lamar County Attorney Scott Mayfield and fellow Commissioner Ashley Gillis. Upon learning today of this civil suit, Commissioner Gillis and I contacted the agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation who interviewed us in September regarding the Solid Waste Authority. Although records she and I gathered prior to our September board meeting remain under Department of Justice subpoena and therefore are not eligible for open records disclosure, we are allowed to acknowledge receipt of the subpoena from the United States District Court for the Middle District of Georgia. Just as I've responded to the 9 previous Solid Waste Authority attorney letters, I will not cooperate with any open records requests related to the Lamar County Regional Solid Waste Authority or the Waste to Fuel Project until such time as I am directed by a Lamar County Superior Court judge. Thank you, sir. And I have a copy for Chairman of the Solid Waste Authority Board, and also one so that you can put it in the records correctly. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. In the future, let's either add that to the agenda or.
We couldn't add that to the agenda as the sheriff just served me these papers. Thank you.
You have a written document that you just read.
I was told he would be here to serve these.
So you could have added to the agenda, or it could have been done during roundtable comments, or simply make sure you
That's
follow
professional.
formalities here.
I will follow those protocols from here forth. Thank you.
All right, the next item is the Solid Waste Authority Board appointment.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
I'm
Chairman, I
gonna
make
make
a
a motion
motion
that we table this
that we do
appointment.
not table.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion. Mr. Chairman, you have a decision to make whether you ask for a table or
Mr.
whether we
Chairman.
proceed as we've
Mr.
directed
Chairman,
this
there's a motion
community
on
that
the
we're
floor.
doing.
That
Mr.
motion
Chairman.
started before yours, Commissioner Lovett.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that we table this appointment. Both Commissioners Lovett and Gillis are individually named in a lawsuit, as just mentioned, by John Richards Law Firm against the county for conspiring together to violate the open records law. Commissioners Lovett, Gillis, and our county attorney Scott Mayfield are the focus of a lawsuit filed by the Mayo Hill firm with depositions noticed for February the 9th. Mr. Mayfield is conflicted out of both lawsuits. Conflict counsel has to be retained and have the opportunity to review the lawsuits, which we've all said all along, and to properly advise the commission. Mr. Mayfield sent emails on January 11th and 12th to Attorney John Richard revealing the existence of alleged subpoenas to Commissioners Lovett and Gillis and their production of documents to the Department of Justice allegedly related to the Solid Waste Authority. We have got to get to the bottom of this, of what's going on here regarding Commissioner Lovett and Gillis before any motions from or involving either one of them regarding the solid waste are considered. So my I have a motion on the floor.
I'm gonna second her motion so we can make discussion. Second.
There's no discussion for a table.
There is discussion.
There is no discussion for a table.
So you second the motion?
Absolutely. Let's vote.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right. And under the circumstances of what we received today, I will vote in favor of the motion to table. This does not mean that.
I didn't hear Fletcher vote.
If another comment of an outburst, we're gonna have you escorted out. What you don't understand is the rules are, if I don't vote, the motion dies anyway.
Good.
So understand the rules before you.
Let it die.
Of
course.
Let's let it die and move to the next motion.
At any rate, the motion, is tabled, after the conflict council can take a look at it and all this stuff gets sorted out, then Commissioner Gillis can be appointed to the board if that is the pleasure of the board. But at this particular time, my motion is to, support the motion, and that is to table the, appointment for Commissioner Gillis. The next item on the floor is the conflict council. As you guys know, we have been entertaining and interviewing conflict counsel. We had two candidates that we talked to, one today and one on Thursday of last week. Sean, do you wanna just give us a little rundown on the names of each of the council?
Yeah, actually, the first one is, Amy Cohen. We actually got, Patrick Johnson. That's that German name, so both of them come from really good firms, and I think both of them will do a great job with the county.
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve, Amy Cohen, to be our conflict attorney.
Do I have a second?
Second?
We have a motion by Commissioner Lovett, I'm sorry, by Commissioner. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Fletcher, a second by Commissioner Gilbert. Any, for Amy Cowan? Any, discussion? Hearing none, we call it to a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Give me Tricia. 2-4. Opposed?
Nay.
All right, I actually like both candidates, actually, I think they did a phenomenal job, and thank you, Scott, for those recommendations. But I'm gonna break time, my motion will be for Amy Cowan, I think she did a great job, I think she will do a great job. All right, the next item on the agenda tonight is the administrative report. So, you wanna go ahead?
Yeah, I do wanna apologize, this microphone is acting up, so get a sound check. If it'll reach,
They still can't hear you.
I know. All right, for Ameripro Health, we had 180 transports, 108 refusals, 25 cancellations, and response time for the month was 8.25 on average. We had 25 mutual aids from Upson. And our expenditures for, 2023, for the whole year, should be at 100%, and we're actually, below at 93.92. So, but one thing about it, on this next one, I'm gonna show you, but, a lot of that's gonna change when we're doing a recruiting county. And had to book a lot of things from December. As we come in, we actually got revenues that were coming in for December, so, a lot of this changed towards the end of the month. Now we'll give that report next month, where we actually stand. Just wanna give you some updates on the things. We're actually gonna be moving some staff into the, new administration building tomorrow. So, with that move, a lot of the offices will be moving, so if you have any questions, just try to call us and we will try to work with you and answer some questions, but, the windows, got word today that the windows for the tax commissioner's office is gonna be coming in on Friday, and they're gonna install those. Still waiting on a couple of things from the cabinet guys, they should be coming in this week, and the signs should be installed sometime this week also. Just giving a little update on the animal shelter. For months and months, we've been going out RFPs, RFQs for at least 90 to 120 days. We do have Mr. Wright Woodall, the general contractor, and we've been working with Mr. Armstrong. We are working on the last bid we did get in for that RFP was actually a little bit of $1.2 million. So we're actually working with Mr. Armstrong and Mr. Wright to try to bring those, that cost down. So we're hoping to have a budget for the board approved next month. And today, met with the state fire marshal on the gym, and we actually received our CO on the gym. So, all that's complete, so, that, I'll be marking it next month, so. And then we did have, like I said, we did have some issues with the, jail and the sheriff's office and the courthouse, a little bit of leaking. The contractors have come back out to review that, so, a lot of things, that's receiving about 4 or 5 inches within 2 hours it's hard to believe we didn't have more. So, just to let you know, on the loss, we received $126,962. And for, SPOS 4, we received $222,755.08. And our T-SPOS, we received $203,152.50. So, also, did receive some information from, Sheriff White, requesting some, 3 new squad cars. We are gonna be able to get those in SPOS 4 for this year, but with funds not coming in until maybe March, the staff has found some, usually these cars are around $52,000 a piece, and, his staff has been able to find them for $37,780. So the total of 3 squad cars will be $113,340, and what I'd like for the board to do is approve a motion. What we'd like to do is buy these out of the general fund, and then when the SPOS 4 funds come in, reimburse that, check with the auditors, and they all said that's fine. I actually was checking to see if I could get it from SPOS 3, and from SPOS 3, but they said that was something we couldn't do because of the ballots and all that, so it's been approved by the citizens. So I just asked for y'all to give approval to purchase 3 squad cars from Gen Commercial, Gen Motors, for $113,340. We'll purchase those from the general fund, and then when SPOS 4 funds come in, we'll be able to reimburse the general fund. And the reason we don't have those funds in right now, we have to, according to the intergovernmental agreement with Aldor, Barnesville, and the city of Milner, we have to, pay out the city Aldor first, then Milner, and we should be able to finish it out in March collection. So we'll be able to start splitting it 60-40 between us and the city of Barnesville.
I need a motion on those cards, take it with me.
Do we need to make a motion to amend the agenda first?
Might like to amend the agenda to add the sheriff, officers' cars to the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to add the cars to the agenda.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Gillis, second by Commissioner Lovett, to add this item to the agenda, the approval of the sheriff's cars at a reduced rate. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, Sheriff and your staff are always looking for ways to save us money. Mr. Towns, do you have anything else?
We have to vote on
Oh, you're right, I'm sorry. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
it. We need a motion.
You made the motion, didn't you?
I made a motion to put on the agenda,
I
but I will make the
did.
motion
Thank you.
to, purchase the cars from Jed Motors in the amount of $113,340.
Okay, we have a motion now by Commissioner Gillis and a second by Commissioner Fletcher to approve the purchase for the vehicles for the sheriff's office. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Alright, motion carries. Alright. Mr. Thomas, you have anything else?
That's all I have for the moment.
Perfect. We have roundtable. Sorry, public comment. We have Harold Jackson. As normal, please state your name and address for the record.
My name's Harold Jackson, I live at 200 Laurel Drive here in Baltimore. A number of years back, there was a movie came out, the name of it was Cool Hand Luke, starring Paul Newman. There was a line in that movie, what we have here is failure to communicate. And I think that's what has been going on ever since this authority was organized. I have in my hand 4 pages of Georgia law, since we're talking about law tonight. And I don't think it was ever incorporated into y'all's bylaws, but y'all can get to Google these laws and you can read them for yourself. I'm gonna bring out 3 points in it. And one of them's the board of directors. The director shall serve at the pleasure of the governing authority of the county. You guys are the governing authority. They're serving, the solid waste board is serving at your authority. Y'all are serving at our authority. That's under section A. Also under section A, the director shall receive no compensation for their services, shall be reimbursed by actual, I like that word there, expenses incurred in the performance of their duties. And I think from what I understand, everybody gets $150 a month for so-called meetings. And I would like to know how you have the stuff approved, where everybody gets the same amount of money every month. To me, that sounds a little fishy. And the final law I'd like to bring up is it's under OCGA 36-80-16, local governing authorities registration. Section F says, any local government authority which fails to register with the Department of Community Affairs shall not incur any debt or credit obligation, or shall be eligible for receipt of any state funds. At such times, the meeting registered the restoration requirement. Failure to register shall not have any adverse effect on outstanding debt or credit of obligation. I got in touch with our probate judge's office. Solid Waste Authority has not registered in the last 4 years. And if I'm not mistaken, I read it somewhere when I was reading some of all this stuff, the last time that there was a draw on it was in 22. They were not arrested in 22. So that alone was apparently illegal.
Okay, the next on the list is Mike Perry.
Mike Perry, 101 Maple Drive, Barnesville. Sean, mentioned one thing that you failed to mention, is the election board moved. We're not moving out of the old, administrative building, we're staying until June, is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
I thought it was July or August.
Well, it may be now, but the point is, all of the election business is going to continue to be there. We'll still do early voting there, and all registrations will take place there, just as we always have, until we get permission to move. Second thing, I wanna make sure everybody saw the letter that came out in today's paper from the Solid Waste Authority, explaining that they're working to save us money and trying not to waste it. Walter, congratulations on extra business, and I'm sure you didn't do this for free. Just another example of wasted spending and resources. As a member of the original Concerned Citizens Group, I categorically deny that we have ever tried to shut the solid waste authority down or ask them to spend money that they didn't need to. We've only asked for an explanation as to why it's taken 10 years to go nowhere, and why did we spend $24 million and still have no waste fuel system, and look like we might get a leachate system that, probably could have bought it for $2 million, $4 million maybe. And why are we on the hook for $27.5 million repayment of a loan? All we've asked for is honesty. We're not getting much of that. Thank you.
Elaine Alott.
Elaine Halata, 131 Steeplechase. My husband promised me, or asked me to say something nice tonight, so I wanna start with this. I wanna congratulate the commission, especially the two commissioners, Thrash and Trailer, that you certainly have, exceeded your ability to fill a room. When I first started coming to commissioners' meetings, we might have had 2 or 3 people attending, so I gotta congratulate you on that. But I do wanna comment on the full-page ad that the Solid Waste Authority put in today's Herald Gazette. You would think the Solid Waste Authority, which includes Nancy Thrash and Ryan Trailer, would be trying to improve the image of the Solid Waste Authority instead of deflecting blame to the concerned citizens. The project was to be completed by 2017, making $2.5 million a year, which now puts them over $17 million and counting into the hole. And it has still not been turned on. How can you stop a project that has never started, which we were accused of in that paper? Okay. Number 3, at this time you've been collecting $50,000 a month from Amwaste, which means you have banked enough money to pay for the first 2 years of payments. Congratulations, okay? You sold out our landfill to hide your incompetence from the taxpayers and failed to report the failure for this project to start on time to your fellow commissioners and the citizens of this county. The Solid Waste Authority paid for a full-page ad in the paper today to smear the concerned citizens. You have to be a taxpayer to have your trash picked up, so in effect, I helped pay for that ad. I don't appreciate it. Okay, I want to remind everyone that Nancy Thrash and Ryan Trailer have been taking money from the Solid Waste Authority for many, many years. I reported at the last commission meeting that Nancy Thrash was $17,000 in counting. Ryan Trailer was over $12,000 in counting. So you have both been financially compromised for years. Okay? I'm glad you chose the female name, Amy, I don't know what her last name is, because today at the workshop meeting, I felt that perhaps Nancy Thrash knew the lawyer that you were interviewing today. It kind of seemed like that. And also that at one time he had worked for Smith, Welch and Associates. So I felt that he would have been compromised, and I'm glad you chose who you chose tonight. And I just think that, I'll go back to my first comment, I just think it's just so bad that the two of you have not learned how to read a room, because you certainly are not doing what the concerned citizens want or the taxpayers of this county want. Thank you for your time.
Last is Donald Hartman.
Donald Hartman, 507 Old Milner Road. Got a copy of what was printed in the paper today, a couple things there. I guess one thing that I see tonight that's happening is, again, I'm gonna bring this word up, transparency. We've got some civil stuff happening now. Could that have been avoided? Be transparent, come over, see what we got. Why do we have, and maybe this is just my opinion, why can't we just say, well, here's where we spend our money? Do it a simple way. I mean, show us what's on the books. Don't be, I feel like we're trying to hide stuff, and that's not right for the public to get that image that things are trying to be hid. We don't want to be open. We're the citizens. Another thing here that I see in the paper article, and I'm gonna read it from the paper. The only way the taxpayers can be held responsible for these loan payments is if the waste to fuel project or the other work of the authority is stopped by the forces who never wanted to see it succeed in the first place. Again, I've only been here a little bit more than a year. I think a lot of citizens have wanted to see it up and running. My timetable on the project, way too long. Again, we take in here a bottom, we would simply ask this. Will each of you keep an open and informed mind to assist us in continuing what we truly believe will be a project we will all be proud of, and will be a model for others around Georgia and even the country? We trust each of you to say yes to that. Thank you. I have to say, if I was in business, 10 years to get a project up and going that some people are getting done in 2 years, that's not a model program. Be transparent. I think a lot of this legal stuff could have been avoided if you just be truthful about what's going on. I think things are being hid, and that's not right to do. Thank you for your time.
That's the last of our public comments. We will move to roundtable. Commissioner Fletcher.
Yep, I'd like to thank Mr. and Ms. Martin for supplying such an informative field trip for the 4-H club for the horse quiz bowl. They actually gave a tour of their farm for about six children in 4-H, and I just want to say I really appreciate that, and we learned so much. Thank you.
Well, I do have a couple of things. The first one I want to talk about is emotional control. When we look at our community, we all love Lamar County, or we wouldn't be here. I mean, that is the reason that we're here. Ultimately, we all know that there are issues and concerns, that there are two sides to every story. And obviously, you know, I heard the comment earlier tonight, we're not responding to the people here. This is less than 0.3% of the population. So this is not like this is on a ballot and it's being voted on by the entire Lamar County population. So we're talking about a voice. So our job here is to represent the entire county. Our job is to do our best to get it right. I mean, I was talking to someone today at the grocery store and they said to me, Ryan, if the FBI is actually looking into this, why do y'all even need to make a motion to do a forensic audit? The FBI don't need you, Ryan, to tell them to do an audit. I said, you're absolutely right. But on the other side of the coin, if we do a frivolous lawsuit, and obviously, Commissioner Lovett just mentioned a few moments ago that he was served, do you not think the county will be sued for negligence or for enforcing something that we don't have the authority? So as of right now, the board is doing the best we can to make sure that we're following the recommendations of our council. That's all we can do. We have a conflict council coming in that hopefully that will help as well. But the part that I really want to speak about tonight that bothers me more than anything else is I grew up in this community. As a little boy, I always thought one day I wanted to be sitting up here being able to help. When I worked for a Health South physical therapy company, my job was to go out and look at communities and see if they would be a good fit for me to open up a rehab facility. I have friends that still do that work today. And I had phone calls over the last couple of weeks of several of them who said, Lamar County has come off of our board for any type of development that we would be involved in. And it's not because of the fact that there's a legal suit out there, but it's because of the nature of the hostility that they say that is being portrayed in our community. So I ask you, I truly empower you to please, implore you to please think about how we are representing our community. FBI is involved, and bottom line, I'm quite sure that those guys do a phenomenal job at getting to the bottom of whatever investigation that needs to be done. I feel totally confident that if something was done that the board members or that I didn't know at the solid waste authority, they will figure it out. They don't need Ryer and Trailer to tell them to do that. The second part of that, when we start looking at personal attacks and personal agendas, you know, I had somebody in this community that I looked up to more than a lot of people. And they came and talked to me and asked me questions about the solid waste authority. And we talked through it, back and forth. And at the end of the conversation, we both had a great conversation. And then it went on to personal things that Mr. Poore did 15, 20 years. I didn't know Mr. Poore back then. So again, remember, we are all people, and what we're talking about is whether or not the solid waste authority did something improper, or if in fact that Mr. Poore did something illegal. Again, not something we would know about, not something I would know about. Outside of that, the next thing I wanted to mention tonight is this.
I feel like a child being reprimanded.
Ultimately, who do you represent? You represent yourself. And you represent Lamar County. Every time you put a discussion post out there, anything you put out there, I had another individual who said, you know, if I was a little younger, I'd be storming the Capitol when everything was going on with President Trump. I'd have been one of the first ones to storm the Capitol. And then the next comment was, you know, we're here, I'm older now, so this is my attempt to storm the Capitol. The storming the Capitol here is storming your county. So again, I can't say it enough. I truly, I've had people call me and I'm talking to them, I'm trying to do the best I can, and I appreciate those of you who are actually listening and trying to discuss different things. But for those of you who think that putting our county out there on Fox 5 in a negative light is gonna help you with your tax dollars, one of the guys called me and said, Ryan, you better keep finding a way to pay that $5,700 that you're paying for taxes every year, because you're not gonna get any tax relief from any companies, because nobody's gonna wanna come here. And then when I get attacked on personal, how I personally do things, last month alone, the Boys and Girls Club was trying to raise money for a matching grant of $100,000. They succeeded. I went to the bank and borrowed $1,000 to help them get that goal. And the girl sitting there said, why are you doing this? You don't even have kids that are going to the Boys and Girls Club. I said, because there's 2 kids that live down the street from me that come to my office all the time, and they're talking about the Boys and Girls Club and how much they love it. So when we start sitting here thinking about how we are attacking people, it's okay to attack the issues, but have respect for people and have respect for your community. At the end of the day, that's all we got. I know a lot of people didn't grow up here like I did, but this is not the Lamar County that I grew up seeing. This is not the one that I was all excited about one day being commissioner for. So with that being said, please have a great rest of your month. I entertain any motions for adjourning. I have a motion by Commissioner Travis. And a second by Commissioner Gillis. Any discussion?
Yes.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign.
Call this righteous sanctimonious. Oh. Oh, God.
I have this on YouTube. Please everybody share it so we can vote this Nancy Thrash out of office. So,
There's another one too.
yeah, she ain't up for reelection.
Not yet.
Reelection.
But that's the thing. He will be.
What's that? Are you in the water? As soon as I get
Put it on the She wants to get vitamins. I mean, that's right. That was his suggestion. We need to get the vitamin in. Well, if you're going through days be transparent, there wouldn't be no crowd. Tell them how to turn it on. Fix that over and over and over again. Exactly. That's all